want to know, this is my speed square. It's my pocket speed square. It goes in my pouch here, and I think I left my other one. Oh, here it is. This is a bigger one. I don't carry this in my pouch very much, but this reminds me of a wonderful yoga pose that I renamed. I call it the speed square. So this is a speed square, and it's used in framing all the time, and I use it for finish work as well. And let me demonstrate this entire pose for you. I'm going to step my feet wide, so I haven't demonstrated any of this before. This is the first quote-unquote standing pose that I've done. I'm going to turn my left foot out here, and I'm going to put this down so you can get the similarity of what's going on here. Right? So what is this pose? What's the intention of this pose? First off, let me demonstrate it for you. I'll shift my hips, and I'm going to take my hand down. Both legs are active, so I have the plumb bob action in my legs. My feet are grounded on the floor. And then I'm supporting myself on this shin here. And as I bring myself up, I'm lengthening the ribs. I'm rotating the spine. Both legs are working. And then finally, I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to look at the ceiling. Right? Bringing myself back, bringing myself up. All right, so that's the extreme version of it. How are we going to compensate? How are we going to do different than this? So I'm going to step my feet wide, and I'm going to turn my feet out. So now, you would like to have your feet fairly wide because we're dealing with the hips, the groin, all of these kind of things with the feet wide. So from here, now, the legs are active. I want to get my hips facing forward. And then from here, now, I'm just going to take this left hand and I'm just going to slide it down my thigh a little bit. So my fingertips are above my knee. Don't even go past that. You could hold, if you wanted to, a little bit above that. But here I am, lifting the side ribs, turning the chest, working the legs. This is great for the lower back. So we're twisting, we're working the hips. It's starting to open the groin, the hips, the lower back. All of it's fantastic. My navel is lifting as I turn. My shoulders don't want to come up around my ears. My shoulders want to be pulling down as I turn. If you get further, the hand can come down a little bit further. You want to keep this arm straight and keep weight on the arm. Don't put weight on the knee, right? Above the knee or below the knee, but not on the knee, right? Because the knee is so sensitive that we don't need to hurt it at all. I'll bring myself up. I'll turn myself forward. You can see the similarity of the triangle that my body is forming to the the speed square there. And now I'm starting off in the center. I've got the plumb bob legs. The feet are active. I'm going to turn to the opposite side. So now what I have not described before is that I'm looking for an alignment from my heel to my arch. I want to have that alignment. Ideally, I would like to have so that I could drop sand on my feet, right? And whether you can get that wide or not, you can still be practicing along these lines. My hips are straight forward, my legs are working strongly, and then from here, I'm going to keep this back hand on my hip. I'm going to just slide it down, and from here, I'm going to lifting the side ribs and looking straight forward to start with. And then from here, now I can start to rotate my pelvis, my abdominals. My pelvis is staying square, rotating, rotating. There we go. And then I can lift this arm, and I can look up, turning my head. So it's twisting right from the tailbone all the way to the back of the head, all the way up the entire spine, from the tailbone all the way through the neck. So it's the, the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine, all get twisted in this framing square pose, right? Do it at home. You can do it and I'm going to walk over to the wall and I'm going to show you another little version of this, right? So we can take and we can step a foot to the wall, we can step back, and then from here, this is a nice easy way to do it, easier way to do it. Put the hand on the wall and then bend that elbow, and then you can take this arm overhead and you get that nice stretch in the side ribs, right? And it gives a real nice twist to the spine. That really works nicely. And I'll turn and I'll do it the other way so you can see it from the back side, right? I'll put that foot at the wall. I'm going to step out looking for the alignment, heel to arch, right? And then my hips are now going to face this way. As I bring myself down, hand is at the wall. There we go. So now this is giving me the support that I need, and then I can take this hand overhead. If it doesn't feel comfortable that the hand comes overhead, then leave the hand on the hip, right? The hand can come up. Any version of this is going to help the spine, is going to open the hips, open the groin, right? So I'll turn the feet forward, and I'll turn around and step. So there's a lot of actions, a lot of things going on in this pose. So not only is it the spine, but it's starting to get movement in the pelvis. It's starting to get so that the hips will actually start to release. The hip socket will actually start to release, right? So practice it as much as you can. When I say as much as you can, if you could do this on the job site or even at home, if you did this 2 or 3 times a day, it might take you 20, 30 seconds each time. It's a consciousness that we're building as we're working on our yoga with our boots on. It's how do I keep my body aligned? How do I keep my body healthy throughout the day, throughout the job? Thanks for watching.